fuck you looking at?
The fuck are you looking at?
Nothing.
The Milkoviches are a much more extreme, much darker version of what the Gallaghers could be.
The Milkoviches do make the Gallaghers look normal by contrast.
There is love in the Gallagher home. There's love between siblings, and even at moments from Frank.
The Milkoviches, it's kind of every man for himself. There's not that support network. They don't have breakfast in the morning together. There's no one there making coffee.
It's the polar opposite of what we see with the Gallaghers. They have joy. They want to be together. They want to make sure it works. The Milkoviches have to survive.
The Gallaghers don't have a violent, sexually abusive, bigoted gangster for a father. They have a absolutely horrible human being as a father.
Whatever you... Jesus!
The Milkoviches are just really fun characters. They're really a joy to write for. And the challenge is sometimes, making sure that they're a part of the Gallagher world because you want to tell those stories.
Mandy is a huge part of Lip and his relationship and his story arc, and I have Mickey. Being able to bring them in as series regulars opens a lot of doors for many potential story options.
This is a classic case with both Emma Greenwell, who plays Mandy, and with Noel, who plays Mickey. Such incredibly strong, captivating actors that they basically shoulder charge their way into the show.
That's one of the thrills about writing in season 3 is that these actors, you get to know what their strengths are and they become the character, and then you see material that they really nail, and you want to continue to do that.
You belong here with me, not with that fucking vegetable.
The character of Mandy Milkovich, on the surface, would definitely seem like she's the town slut, is the easy one. But really, once you scratch beneath the surface, and you don't have to go very far, you really see that she's a damaged little girl who has to get her validation and her approval through her sexuality.
That was her weapon, was her sexuality. And she definitely, when she doesn't know what else to do, she will go back to that. And she'll use her prowess to kind of convince people.
It's her shield. It's her guard from seeing actually what's inside of her, which is just a broken little girl who's fiercely loyal to her boyfriend.
She craves the love and the support that the Gallaghers have for each other. She's like very attracted to the Gallaghers in that sense, and whichever one will take her kind of thing.
We see Mandy act in both a savage way, almost psychotic way, and with incredible nurturing selflessness in the space of this season, and all of that is part of the human heart.
How are you today? I didn't see you at school.
Ian's, a huge part in her life and their friendship.
Planning to go to Carnegie Mellon?
Please. It's for nerds and homos. But, Haley thinks Lip should apply.
Fat chance.
He's smart enough.
Yeah, but too stupid to do anything about it.
It's kind of the easiest thing for her to fall in love with his older brother, and she is kind of creating her own little family in her mind.
She ends up applying to colleges for him without telling him, which really pisses him off because he wants to live his own life. But at the end of the day, she really cares for him and wants the best for him.
And she knows that Lip's too good for her. She knows, but she's still happy to get, I guess, a piece of him. And she wants to help him. He's to her, the best person there is.
The heart behind the character is immense. The selflessness is what's extraordinary. The nurturing character, it taps into, in a very pure way, into everything that I think is good about Shameless. And that is, you take the surface judgment and then you scratch behind that, and whatever dirtiness you think you see, ultimately there is a great humanity in everybody and the potential for it.
If you are in the Milkovich, family, if you're in the circle, then they'll do anything for you. They'll murder for you, you know what I mean? They'll literally, Mandy does, go pretty crazy in this season. And that's a good example because Lip has crossed the line into the inner circle. And for Mickey, unfortunately, that's more complicated because he would probably want Ian to be in the inner circle, but he can't let Ian be publicly in the inner circle. And my dad took my brothers on a run out of town for a couple days, so if you want to ditch that dump and crash at my place, you can.
How he engages with Ian is so matter-of-fact. When you're writing dialogue and jokes that are matter-of-fact, they can be very quippy and very blunt. There's no need for subtext because what he is saying is exactly what he feels. It is just text and point of view.
What'd you call me?
What?
Jesus, Mickey! The fuck you call me?
Enough.
Oh, he does not think he's gay. He would never admit it. He would never admit it to himself. It's some little thing he does on the side, and that's what torments Ian so much.
That's your grandpa?
Nah, just the guy I've been seeing.
Oh, that's the guy you've been seeing. I think Ian has a hard time understanding or wrapping his head around the fact that he is able to be who he is and Mickey is just not. And he's not able to take steps that would be very drastic steps in his life in order to kind of free himself from that.
I think Ian terrifies him because he might love him, and he cannot accept that, and he does not know how to justify these feelings.
When he began to feel those feelings, he liked what he liked, he acted on it, but it was never a consideration that he would go down the road of acknowledging it and being out in any way.
Don't.
Don't what?
Just.
The fact that he's too scared to do that isn't, of course, entirely understandable if you look at the universe that guy lives in. But that's, I think, what really kills him. That he's not brave enough to actually stand up and say that.
Not everybody just gets to blurt out how they fucking feel every minute.
We purposely decided to make the Milkoviches more barbaric. Their living situation, who they are as people, their morals.
There is no Fiona in the Milkovich household. That's the big difference. In the Gallagher household, there is a mother, and therefore there is a semblance of family, of structure and support.
You get the sense of the joy in that house and the familial love that's in that house when you go to some place like the Milkoviches.
Fiona has brought up the Gallagher clan with a sense of right from wrong, where the Milkoviches don't know how to handle anything any differently because that's how they were raised.
Walk the fuck away.
If there was a show about the Milkoviches, it wouldn't be as inspiring at times. It might be a little too dark.